There was a recent interview with Mr. Hayakosis, and he went over some things. I was worried about the global cooldown thing, but after he explained, I'm a little curious to see how it works. I understand the rest of what he talked about, except for really one thing. Personal loot is the only loot in Battle for Azeroth. I personally disagree with their idea behind it. Specifically one thing, and I'll quote it here. When you kill a boss, it isn't about if something's on the corpse that you want, but if someone is going to give you that loot. It disconnects the reward from killing the boss. So the logic here is, because Master Looter is on and someone has to give you the loot that you need, it feels less rewarding. But won't personal loot just do the same? So, for example, I get gold, which, is most likely going to be the case most of the time, and somebody else gets something that I could really use, and they agree to give it to me. It's the exact same thing. Someone else is giving me that loot. Mind you, it may happen less often, and I suppose you don't have to fight someone with a roll, which, actually, you know what? You actually will have to fight someone with a roll. Because if somebody gets something that you can use, everyone's still going to have to roll against that. Really, actually, yeah, that didn't really fix anything, did it? And it'll still happen. It is a small fix to a much bigger issue. I think that personal loot will add, as well as a different problem. And for what this problem affects me personally, and that's guild engagement. Right now, my warrior's in a guild that uses EPGP, which I jokingly call PPAP, and I honestly just can't stop saying it, and I do it just to upset my guildmaster, by the way. So what that is, it's a currency system, which has been rewarding me more points for giving the guild flasks for raiding. Now, it has allowed me a greater currency other than the other tank, for example, or the other guild mates, which they can roll against me, which means sometimes I end up winning more loot. Now, I have to put in a minimum over to get the loot, flat out guaranteed. My guildmaster also do a thing where you have to roll twice, so I get 2 rolls and I get to pick which roll I want to use for that piece of gear. So it's a small way to feel more rewarded, and sometimes it did upset them, I should say, but that's what I get for putting in the more hours into helping the guild than they do. Now, with the removal of this system, besides the reason of being a nice guy, what's the reason I would put in hours into making sure people have flasks for raiding? And if you're thinking of this, also there is a fix, I guess. The person that supplies these things can get priority on loot that people don't need from their, like someone loots something, they don't need it, I can get priority on that. Which, okay, that could work. Honestly, though, this may cause more issues or the exact same issues with the guild. It's not really going to change that. People are always going to find a way around to exploit these systems. And especially for me farming for the guild, they're going to have to find another way to compensate me for my time that I farmed for raids, if I choose to do it at all. Did I exploit the EPGP system for my own personal gain? Absolutely. But I also put in the time and the work to make sure that no one had to worry when it came raid night. They could just log on and raid if they wanted to. If they wanted more EGP... I can't even say it anymore. If they wanted more of that currency, they could have just done the same thing. But most people didn't mind that I had more of this currency. But of course, they weren't really in contest of my loot now, were they? Now, I understand that this system was probably abused, but I opted into it. He also talked about guild trials, and I was in a guild trial in Wrath. 3 weeks without loot, and I didn't mind it. I chose that. Now, I don't know many guilds that still do this on a mythic level, and I haven't seen anyone use this system since Wrath, but apparently it's widely used. In the end, this new system is just going to feel weird. People are still going to find ways to abuse it. Of course they will. I mean, people will still feel like they aren't being rewarded when they get gold or artifact power, or when someone has to give them their loot that they earned. But I suppose we'll all just have to suck it up and move on and hope to, maybe they should make more churches to RNGesus. The last thing I wanted to talk about, this is a quick video today, but the last thing I want to talk about is the channel is going to change a little, not too much, but different types of videos, more podcasts, which, by the way, they need a new name, and I'll definitely venture into new games. I need to find a first-person shooter, so we're going to start playing all the free-to-play first-person shooters, and maybe some paid ones as well. I was going to do Arma 3, which isn't a first-person shooter, but I had my own issues with that. I'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, guys, it has been a quick video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later. Oh, before I go, I want to know what your opinions on this are. Do you care that personal loot's become a thing? Are you sad? Are you happy? Do you have your own personal stories? Do you have your own worries? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you like my videos. give the quick video a nice thumbs up. Didn't waste your time, hopefully. That's a good thing. I didn't waste too much of your time. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later.